is now my great pleasure on behalf of the Wales Airshow to introduce to you Red 10.
Good afternoon, Swansea. I am Squadron Leader Grey Muscat. I am Team Supervisor Red 10 with the Royal Air Force Aerobatic team. It's the Red Arrows. It's great to be back here at Swansea. We've definitely brought the weather with us. We've had a bit of a rubbish start to the week where the weather in Kent wasn't particularly great for one of our displays. But we displayed earlier today at Teignmouth, and here we are today at Swansea. I have the honour of talking to you today about the display. I'll give you some more information about the team themselves, about the pilots, about the manoeuvres, but most importantly, I will get your eyes into the correct piece of sky so you do not miss a single second of the action. If I go quiet, I'm just waiting to hear blue. So please put your hands together for the 2024 Royal Air Force Aerobatic team. It's the Red Arrow! As said, arriving in our trademark Diamond 9 formation with that red, white and blue trailing out the back. And straight away, Red 1 starts to pull him up, which indicates to me he's doing the full show. We have 3 shows, a full, a rolling and a flat. And that purely depends on the cloud base or the airspace. We can see the cloud is not an issue today, and we have no airspace restrictions, as 8 and 9 move left and right to change the shape into 9 Arrow, reaching a height of over 5,500 to 6,000 feet on the top of that loop. There are actually 11 pilots in the Red Arrows. There are Reds 1 through 9 who you see displaying with you in front of you today over the sea. There's myself, Red 10, and the team supervisor. I'm a former Tornado GR4 pilot, also former qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T Mark II. And we have Red 11, that's Officer Commanding Rafat, that's Wing Commander Adam Collins, my predecessor as Red 10, former Tornado GR4 pilot, and he also flew the F-111 while on exchange with the Royal Australian Air Force. Paid the ultimate sacrifice. This is the Spitfire roll. On the right of Red 1 is Red 2, Squadron Leader Chris McCann. Chris is in his first year on the team, and out of training he was taken straight into an instructor role on the Tucano at RAF Linton in Yorkshire. After that, he rejoined the mainstream. He went back to fly the Tornado GR4 with the world-famous 617 Dam Buster Squadron. Chris actually received an Air Force Cross for his service while on operations during operations over Afghanistan. As the team roll out, there is no mistaking the wonderful, majestic shape of the iconic Concorde. Once again, Red 1 pulls the team up at over 450 miles an hour, showing the expertise of the pilots maintaining that shape whilst doing a loop. And not only that, they'll make it even more difficult now as Reds 8 and 9 move left and right to change the shape into Cygnet, with the aircraft now slowed to approximately 120 miles per hour over the top, making the controls less responsive. The pilots working extremely hard to maintain that formation position. Conversely, now the aircraft are accelerating through 200, 300, back to 400 miles per hour in that Cygnet formation before Red 1 brings them around to the left. In the middle of that upper wing is Red 4, Flight Lieutenant Ollie Suckling. He is in his second year on the team. He was Red 4 last year. He remained as Red 4 and took up the role affectionately known as Uncle Enid. This means he is the mentor and works alongside Red 1 during the winter season to ensure that our new pilots each year reach the standards required to be a Red Arrow pilot. Ollie is also a former Tornado GR4 pilot and qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T Mark II. On that front row, all the way over to the left-hand side, is Red 5, Flight Lieutenant George Hobday. George, again, is in his first year on the team. A former Typhoon pilot with 11 Squadron RAF Coningsby. And he has taken part in operations over Syria and Iraq, as well as the Eastern European Air Policing Patrol in the face of the aggressive Russia. Coming in from the left, the smoke comes on for one of the most popular maneuvers. It's the Tornado. The aboard call is made by Red 9 as Reds 8 and 9 roll around the smoke of the rest of the formation. And watch for the colour change as Red 1 brings the team down the line.
A little bit less. Now. Hold it. Roll it.
You may be able to see in the front section of aircraft their air brakes are out. That's the small door at the base of the aircraft on the belly. This has twofold effect. The pilots firstly have to fly with a higher throttle setting, and thereby it produces a hotter engine gas temperature, and that makes the smoke burn a lot more brightly. Dr. Schoolmeister is Circus 1, the leader of the Circus, and one of them also is Circus 10. That is AS1 Ewan Lewis, and he is also a local boy from Llanelli. And he is with me today, filming the display for safety and debriefing purposes. And he flies with me, taking airborne shots and video of the team. Coming in from the right, for the final time in our Diamond 9, it's the 2024 Red Arrows. As we go into the second half, get your cameras ready for a manoeuvre not seen since 2003. It's the 5-4 split. As we go into the second half, you'll see the more heart-paced, heart-pumping, jaw-dropping manoeuvres. And you'll see Enid now off to the right-hand side, named Enid after the famous 5 from the children's books. And 6, 7, and 8 to the left-hand side, now known as Hannah. Named after squadron leader Ray Hanna, one of the first members of the Red Arrows, the only leader to lead the team for 4 years. He took the team from a 7-ship to a 9-ship, and he also formed our trademark Diamond 9. Enid from the right, Hannah from the left, for the 5-4 cross. Keep your eye on Enid to the left-hand side. The Red Arrows were formed in 1964 with our first display in 1965. And we were actually formed from 3 different display teams. The Red Pelicans, the Black Arrows, and the Yellow Jacks. We took the red from the Red Pelicans, the arrows from the Black Arrows to form our name, and of course we took the aircraft from the Yellow Jacks. And in tribute to that aircraft, coming in from the right, the smoke will come on, Enid in Nat. The Red Arrows flew the Nat right the way up until 1980 when we took control of the Hawk T Mark 1, which is the aircraft that we still fly today. The Hawk itself is actually 50 years old this year, and all the pilots that have flown the Hawk attribute to her to a very small sports car, extremely agile, extremely fun to fly. Look directly to your front, you'll see Red 7 and 8 to the left-hand side, Reds 9 and 6 to your right-hand side. The second section, the Hannah, and the Synchro section is led by the Synchro leader. That's Red 6 pulling up to your right-hand side. That's Flight Lieutenant Stuart Roberts. Stuart's in his 3rd and final year on the team. He's a former Typhoon pilot with 11 and 12 squadron based at RAF Coningsby in Lincolnshire. Each pair of aircraft will now dive down to only 100 feet above the sea. They'll have a closing speed of over 800 miles per hour, looking to pass each other within only 30 meters. That's 100 feet from wingtip to wingtip. Get your cameras ready for the Hannah pass.
Amen.
Reds 8 and 9 pulling vertically up from Reds 6 and 7 staying flat. Red 6 to the left, Red 7 to the right. Red 7 is squad leader Tom Hansford, second year on the team. He was Red 3 last year. He's a former Typhoon pilot, former qualified weapons instructor on the Typhoon, where he would teach weapons and technical information to the entire Typhoon force. As 6 and 7 now turn towards each other to complete the maneuver called Cyclone. As the Synchro pair lead directly to your front, look to your left-hand side, coming in at over 450 miles per hour is Red 9, Flight Lieutenant Patrick Kershaw, known as Paddy. Former Tornado GR4 pilot, Typhoon pilot and qualified flying instructor on the Hawk. He lines up with Enid for the Goose.
Little bit right. Now.
As Red 9 climbs up, he goes from blue to white to red as he completes the Goose, with Enid going off to the left-hand side, smoking our famous red, white and blue. As Enid go to the left-hand side, look directly to your front once again. Red 6 and 7 running in. You might just be able to see their nose lights in the distance. Red 6 starts to pull up, follow. And coming in from the top right-hand side, you may be able to see Red 8 as he comes down and spears the heart. Red 8 is Flight Lieutenant Rich Walker, second year on the team, former Harrier pilot, former Typhoon pilot. Yeah, let's give 6, 7, 8 a massive round of applause for a wonderful heart in the skies of Swansea. And of course, AS1 Lewis and Flight Lieutenant Jack the Schoolmeister would like to dedicate today's heart to their friends and family who are here at the show. However, as the Synchro pair complete their maneuver, look to your distance in the far left-hand side over the steelworks, and you can see the Enid running in with 8 and 9.
Go. And pulling up.
Once again, Red 1 pulls them up at over 450 miles per hour. He'll roll to the right. Once again, get your cameras ready for the Vixen vertical break.
Holding back. No. Then. Break. Break. Go.
As the Vixen speed of over 800 miles per hour, they'll pass wingtip to wingtip by only 100 feet before commencing an aileron roll. Pull go is the call from Red 6 as each aircraft now pull hard up into the vertical, pulling 5 to 6G, which means everything about them is weighing 5 to 6 times heavier than what you and I are as we stand on the beach. They'll reach a height of over 3,000 feet. They'll be inverted 60 degrees on the way down before rolling the correct way up as they complete the maneuver we like to call the boomerang. As the Synchro pair leave directly to our rear, look to your front right 45 just over the headlands, an snake-like smoke trail in the sky for the first part of the maneuver we now call the Serpent. And of course you can see our famous red, white and blue, which we are proud to fly all around the world, proud to take the Union flag all the way around the world. And this year we'll be going to Canada mid-August to help celebrate the Royal Canadian Air Force 100th. And that red, white and blue is only capable due to the smoke pod which is on the belly of the aeroplane. That smoke pod is capable of producing approximately 5 minutes of white smoke, 1 minute of red smoke, and 1 minute of white smoke, with each of the colours having their own button on the pilot's control column. And through winter training, we ensure that our smoke plan is carefully choreographed so we have the right colour of smoke at the right time in the display and we do not run out. You now see reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 moved up alongside red 1, looking 90 degrees left and right along their shoulders for a quite hard formation to maintain in from the right. Finishing off the Serpent, the smoke comes on for the Tango present.
Motor, go.
The motto of the Red Arrows is Eclat, which means excellence, and that means every single member of the team, from the officer commanding right the way down to the newest member of the team, is striving for excellence in everything that we do. And we also strive to leave the team in a better place than where we found it. Coming in from the left, you have Hannah formation once again, led by red 6, as he brings them around to the left-hand side. The white smoke comes on. 2 and 3 roll go as reds 2 and 3 roll around the outside of the rest of the formation. Clear go as reds 4 and 5 roll around the outside in one of the hardest maneuvers for our new pilots each year to master. This is rollbacks. As Enid leaves to the right, look directly to your front, you'll see reds 6, 7, 8 and 9 lining up. And as I said, 2024. As the Synchro pair leave to our rear, look directly, it's been an honour and a pleasure. Please put your hands together for the 2024 Royal Air Force Aerobatic team. It's the Red Arrows!